Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Wednesday, and it's our Real Talk on Real Estate. And today, I got a real treat for you guys, and I'm excited because I got John Trotman on. And one thing that's cool is that when you find cool people doing cool shit, it makes a big difference in your life, their life, and everybody's life. And if you guys remember, and you guys have seen the real estate lineup for Real Estate Domination 2021, we're bringing in some infield machines that are really doing big shit in the industry. And John is one of them. And so I want to be able to bring John in, let him tell you a little bit about himself and his story. John, welcome, bro. And I see you got all your apparel, your logos, and
I gotta represent. I thought this was a moment. I know we got a lot of people attending, so I figured I'd have to represent, right? So I'm well attired today.
We got John over here walking. John's going to be down in Real Estate Domination 2021. Like I was telling you guys, you're representing with all your stuff on. And tell everybody where you're at. Tell them a little bit about what you're doing, John. Because I've been representing you as the machine of high-end fix and flips, like a fix and flip badass, because you're not doing fix and flips on little tiny homes. Tell us a little bit about where you're at, what you're doing, and a little bit about your story, bro.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate you having me on here today, Jerome, seriously. And being able to share my story with everybody and in Vegas to go through some more details. But gosh, I don't, being 100, I just, I don't know if I have any secret sauce other than, let's go to work and make things happen and identify opportunities. Just like you, the longer you're in it, the more opportunities you're able to see just because you've been in it, you've been exposed to things. I mean, heck, I've learned a lot from you just working with you for the short amount of time. So I appreciate it. But yeah, we do a little bit of everything. We're all over the board. I know a lot of people like just to stick with one thing and then they scale that one thing and they do it really well. I like to say, realtors come to me all the time and they say, John, what is it that I could help you find and search out for you? And it's such a difficult question. I always tell them this answer. I heard it from a very successful guy that we were doing business together, and he said it. And I was like, gosh, that actually is exactly what we're looking for. And that is when these realtors or agents or wholesalers, whoever it is, are looking at opportunities and they're trying to take those deals down. That's the type of deal I want. When they can't take it down, I'll take that deal. Bring it to me. I'm going to close on it because I know it's a good deal if any of those guys are trying to do it themselves. So back to the fix and flip. If that's where the market is, I'll do the high-end fix and flip. If it's in commercial and there's an opportunity there, I'll jump in on that. And I try not to pigeonhole myself on any one specific thing. I do residential and I do commercial, and if the opportunities come up, I'll jump on it. So and I've been lucky enough to do some higher end Arcadia, Paradise Valley fix and flips, and some stuff in Sammamish, Washington, and things like that. So wherever the opportunity is, right?
Yeah. So you're in Sedona today, right? You went up there to go look at a project.
I know I told you, hey, I want to do this call. I want to show these people, like whoever, the people viewing this right now. I wanted to show them how we're taking some of these office buildings. You're doing it on a bigger scale. We took a smaller boutique little office building. We converted it into 5 apartments, right? So maybe a little bit more digestible for some of the audience. You're doing that big one out there in Arizona. So I heard you got it from an incredible group of people. So that's good. Anyways, but yeah, so what happened when opportunity strikes, you jump on it, right? So I saw this couple acres on Oak Creek pop up today, and I called the realtor, and they have escalation clauses, 9 offers, but I think I'm going to get the deal, and I'm not going to be the highest price. And I'm going to share with people at the MGM how I get these deals, but not on this call. Sorry. Is that all right?
That's fine. That's perfect. They're going to need to go to Real Estate Domination to get the real goal. Just understand.
No. Yeah, but I want to share with you guys this real quick. This deal, I want to show you guys this. I decided I was out here and we didn't get to do the opportunity that I wanted. But this deal right here, this is 2.5 acres in the middle of Sedona. You can see the main streets right over here. No one knew this property was here. Nobody. We are not going to bring $1 to the table on this, and we're going to end up owning 50% of this project, which is 9 rental units in Sedona. And I'd love to share that. We can share that whenever you want, but we can share it at the MGM. We can share it now. But I would love to share what we're doing on stuff like this and how we're doing it. Like, people might be like, oh, that's not realistic. No, you're not. This is, yeah, no, we are. And we are developing this property, and we will have 9 rentals on this. Maybe more. The city would like us to do more density, but I don't think the community wants us to. So anyways, just some stuff that we're doing here in Arizona.
Well, I'll tell you, if the city wants it and the neighbors don't, just like they told me up in Seattle, they said, we don't really, he goes, I can't really tell you that we don't care what the city, with the people in the community want, because it'd be wrong for us to do that. But really what makes a difference is if we want it. And so, so if they want it, go dense.
So there's some history here. This property has been owned for 10 years. And they're local developers. And what happened is they got use permitted or not permitted quite yet, but 54 units here. And it's for more of the work housing and things like that. By the way, look at this view. Look at that view. Could you see that? Incredible, right?
Gorgeous.
So, and what happened is the city was saying yes. And so they went through the zoning and the neighbors squashed it, right? So we can get 9 rental units in here, no problem. So the city's already approved it. So these guys have kind of lost some steam. They own the property free and clear. So you know what we did. I already know you know what we did. So we just said, hey, we'll come and do the heavy lifting. We'll do the ground up. We'll bring the debt. You have the equity, and we'll just partner on it, right? So that way we're using what they've spent the last 10 years accumulating. And that's, some of the permits and then the equity in the property. And so we're going to leverage that and then we'll just bring debt to the deal, and it's already done and approved. So anyways, we are going to do 9 A-frames on this property. So
that's awesome. Yeah. For those of you guys that don't know, and John and I didn't even know this. We didn't find this out till just about 6-8 months ago. John and I come from the same mentorship, training, and company. Worked together indirectly back in the early 90s. And so our thought of creativity comes from decades ago, almost 3 decades ago of training. And so when I hear John speak on behalf of the creativity of putting this deal together, I do understand it, because a lot of everything that we learned, right, John, back in our early years of getting started in business, kind of revolves around that in so many ways.
Yeah, I love that we have that same background. It was a very humbling and also a huge amount of growth because of it, right? So we got that experience. We got to learn. And I have an immense amount of respect for you going through that and achieving what you did during that time too. So it's no wonder, I see it. I see what you're doing now, and I get it, right? So yeah, it's incredible. I know everybody has a story, right? You guys listening, you guys have a story, and it's sometimes getting yourself in those tough spots, those pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. And learning and actually doing, that's where all the magic happens, right? And so I would say from the mentors who we had back then, and being pushed out of our comfort zones really is why you're at, the level you're at today. And, I'll get there. Just give me time. So I just think it's... No, I'm honestly honored and flattered that you're having me come to your event that you're hosting. There's some big names there. I honestly feel like I'm just a guy out there grinding, just trying to make deals happen, and lucky enough to share that with people and get to push a couple people along the way to accomplish the same thing. I mean, I see your post, I get it. Heck, we've done business together. I know you're out there grinding and you're making deals happen. And the people that are listening to this right now, that's the key thing. Like I tell people all the time, you can talk to someone that did deals 10, 15 years ago. The market, real estate market is a live market. It's real. It fluctuates. You could have commercial going up, different parts of it going down, residential. If you're not in the market, you just don't know what's going on. So coming to this event, being able to listen to people, plug in, get those gems, if you will, those golden nuggets, I think you called it, is 100% accurate, because you're going to learn from people doing it. I always say, like, not in theory, like even if you see me posting and I'm not posting projects, stop listening to me. 100%. Listen to the person that's actually doing deals. I have no problem saying that and humbling myself to say, hey, I'm not doing deals anymore. You need to go listen to the people that are. But right now, I still have some fight left in me, so I'm gonna keep grinding, But I think this event that you're having, the people that are able to come and plug in and network, the network's going to be phenomenal. The gems that people are going to be able to get and take away and ask questions and all of this stuff are just, I mean, I know we're having like Q&A a couple of days, right?
Yep.
On a couple of the days.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's phenomenal. I saw that. I was like, that's where people get to come in, ask any specific questions, pain points that they're having. I mean, everybody there is very approachable. So I'm not going to lie. Like I'm, you got your main guy coming there. Ty, I mean, I feel a little bit intimidated by him, not going to lie, but I think it's good. So you got some people doing big stuff in the industries that think outside the box. If you guys have deals that you guys are looking at, I would say bring them too. I mean, I hope I'm not stepping out of line here, but bring them. Like if you have a deal that you're struggling with and you can't quite see a way to put together, bring it. Come talk to us about it. So, anyways, I love to help people do deals. So do you. So anyways, hope I didn't overstep there.
No, not at all. And John's real humble in his success. I'll tell you guys, these guys are doing multi-million-dollar flips. And yes, we bought a deal from John, and I know how much John made on the deal that we made. And the numbers work, right? You guys have heard me talk about. This is a perfect example. Like I tell people, I'm going to bring real people doing real stuff in the industry to speak of our events and teach people. And John's, he humbles himself to it, but I mean, he's been working with Bradley and some of the big names in the industry for a long time, teaching people how to do this. Not only teaching people how to do it, but like he said, he's doing it in the industry and he's living it. I've seen him do some medium-sized projects, large projects, still haven't seen his real tiny projects. And it's perfect because there's stages to this. And when you say like big projects, like, yes, we're doing more units of projects, but his projects are still multi-million-dollar projects. And he started on some little ones, I'm assuming, John, right? You probably started on little deals, little projects, little home flips.
Yeah. So good point. I started with $40,000 houses back in the day. And let's face it, a lot of us got beat up in 2008. I had to start over. I went through some personal stuff too. I just stepped on a cactus that actually was sharp. 2008, 9, I started back in Detroit and buying houses for $4 or $5 grand. And we accumulated enough to sell them to a REIT and another investment company actually out of the Bay Area. But anyways, yeah, started small. And then I think that's what a lot of it's about too. I can only speak for myself, right? So I'm I get out of my comfort zone, but I like maybe conservative as far as my risk goes, right? I like to do limited risk, make sure I have multiple exit strategies, make sure I'm secure in lots of ways, just versus just going kind of, I don't want to call it reckless, but because that's really not the word. Maybe I need to push myself sometimes out of my comfort zone a little bit more, but I feel like definitely started small. And speaking of mentors, like I've always had someone that I could work with or I'll bring into my group. I'll give you an example. When I moved to Arizona, I was doing a lot of I was buying these small offices, right? And I was doing executive suites. It was a really sweet deal, actually. And we accumulated like a half a block, and some guys that are friends out of Seattle came down and saw the model and were like, hey, we want to be part of this. Like we were pulling, a 26, it was, we backed into a cap rate, and this isn't the exact way I should do it as a cash on cash, but it would have been a 26 cap rate, right? Like that's not cash on cash. So the way I'm explaining it right now might not be the best. I just remember backing into a cap rate on it. So they were like, hey, we want in on this. So we started partnering with them. And the only reason I did is really I got to learn from people that, I mean, these guys in Phoenix, Arizona had 22,000 doors. So being able to partner with them and allow them to help mentor me, we took that business to the next level. And that entity is now just, it's basically has very little debt, if any, and just produces a monthly cash flow, right? So what I'm saying is I've always had a mentor. From there, like, Chris, like I brought Chris into some deals because I wanted to learn from him some of the deals that he was doing, because here's this 40-year-old that's got, his own portfolio, of over $100 million. And I'm like, how does this happen? So how can I extract the knowledge from him? I could bring him value, right? And so basically I've paid in some way to work with Chris and get more value, right? So that's how we've met. We started doing some deals together. I'm learning from you now. So I think it's all about networking, bringing value. Sometimes I'd like to say this too: pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Like leaving, meat on the bone. You don't have to be the greediest person. Like I try to be fair with people, do fair business. Just try to do the right thing at the end of the day. I don't like fighting over money. It's not what this is about. We could all make great money in real estate, and we don't have to fight over it. I mean, look, your deal penciled with us. You saw what we made. You didn't squab over it. You closed the deal. You did it, and we made decent money, right? I'm not gonna, and that was a very honorable thing, I think. So, people watching may not understand the full depth of it, and if you want to share the story with them at MGM or whatever, you guys, there's just I'll say this: a lot of people probably watching are in residential. And everybody told me to get into commercial a lot longer or before I actually did. And I kicked myself for taking as long as I did. You have a lot of people there. Kyle's going to be there too, right?
Yeah.
You got a lot of commercial people there that you guys, if you want to take your business to the next level, you need to go to this event. You need to learn. The only way to kind of level up, you can't necessarily do it just by reading books and listening to podcasts and things like that. I think that all that stuff is great, right? Don't get me wrong, but the actually networking and participating is where all the magic happens, because that network is where you're going to find the deals. That network is going to be how you put those deals together, right? So it's where all the magic happens. And it has to start with taking action and sitting at home or going out on a Friday night or whatever, when you could be networking with people that could change your life forever. I don't know. I mean, it's priorities. It's just priorities. So I hope that people watching say, I'm gonna go to Vegas. Yeah, you could go to Vegas, have a good time, go out and stuff like that. I'm gonna go there. I'm going there and I'm learning from the people that are, that have the pieces I don't. There's going to be people there presenting that I have blind spots to, that I don't see, right? So being able to hear from them, hear what they're doing, understand, ask those questions, I don't know why you wouldn't want to go. Yeah, absolutely. That could be the game changer for you. 100%. Jerome, I'm not trying to, blow smoke. But when you guys did that deal, and I saw like, oh my gosh, I missed the opportunity. Yeah, we made a chunk of money, but we left all that money sitting there. And that's when that piece I learned by leaving a lot there, right? Like at the end of the day, you saw the vision and you went for it. And that's going to pay you immensely, right? Some people would hope to make that in a lifetime, and you're making it on a deal. So the way I see it is like being able to network with you, the other guys, if I had a deals or just went there to listen. And then I was like, hey, when I'm looking at something, maybe now it resonates and I'm like, hey, they talked about that in the event. I wonder if I could reach out and network with these guys and see if I could take that deal down or partner with them or flip it to them or whatever, right? So get in there, you guys, get to the event, network with us, and let's do some deals. Yeah. Let's do deals together.
I think you said it best when you said, there's that pie on the table, and we don't, when we pencil deals, if our numbers work, we don't quarrel over it. And the thing is, yeah, these guys made hundreds of thousands of dollars on us, and we're going to make millions, right, on these deals. But there's an undertaking to it as well. John limited his risk. We have a lot more risk on the table, but we'll be able to, but it pencils well. And so we have a lot of upside to it, like John said. And I will share that story when John's done talking. I'll share that story with you guys over at the MGM in a little bit more depth when we have a little bit more time. But the reason we do this, and like what John is saying, is absolutely on point, because people sit back and go, okay, but why would you guys go out and teach these random people how to do this? And if you look around, like when I was a kid, your blinders are on, you drive in front of all this real estate every single day, and you never really think about like individuals own it. Like there's people like John that owns that stuff. There's people like me and the teams that I put together that own that stuff. It isn't like these big institutional money. And yes, there are some that are owned by them, but it's individuals that breathe, bleed, and walk in the same way all of you guys that are watching this do. And what's cool is I can't individually take down all of that real estate. We're talking trillions upon trillions of dollars in real estate. And all we're looking for is a small sliver of millions of dollars of that. And so when, like John said, he was working with these guys that accumulated $100 million portfolio. And I sit back now and I remember even just a handful of years ago, I was like thinking, going, God, man, I've done about $100 million in my whole entire professional career. Now, this year, after a strong push, we have about $62 million on the books. Probably, end about that this year. But we might get $100 million on the books next year. We already are pushing in that direction. And I don't know quite how that happened. All I know is, like John said in the beginning, is we've been focused. I mean, I think in all honesty, I haven't really picked my head up since the 90s when we got started in multi-level marketing together. I've made a lot of changes since then, but I still got a lot of fight left in me too. And I still feel like I'm young enough to go out and fight that fight, especially when I see people like Grant out there in his 60s, still fighting and still pushing. And as I round the corner and I get closer to my 50s, I sit back and go, okay, I got myself a decade on here. I got a little more fight in me. I think we can go out and make this stuff happen. And over the course of time and consistency, the consistency of doing it and just time that allows this stuff to evolve. It's amazing how time, if you stay consistent at it, just things happen. And it's pretty incredible. And we need good people, like John said, to partner with, because John can't personally take all that stuff down. I can't personally take all of it down, and I can't find all those deals, but we can find people like you guys. You guys go out there, you find the deals. You don't know how to do what John and I do in particularly, but we have the education. We can show you, we can lead you, and then we both win. It's a win-win deal. You guys win, we win. And we feel good about being able to bring people and create millionaires out of good stories and create millionaires. So, I mean, how many people have you guys created millionaires out of in your lifetime? I know I've only done 3, but I'd like to be able to do 30 if I can. If I can create 30 millionaires in my lifetime, man, I feel like I've won.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I want to just touch on something real quick that you said, a couple of things. Like, one, like if it's intimidating and looking at some of these bigger projects where you're like, yeah, an institution owns it. I want to tell you the institutions aren't the hustlers that are going out and making it happen. So that property maybe is an exit that we're talking about. Maybe Jerome sells that to an institutional buyer at the end and squeezes all the money back out of it and gives it to them, because these guys have to just deploy money because there's so much money on the sidelines right now. People are pulling it from the stock market. You guys, this is the richest, like, there's more money floating around in this economy than I've ever seen in my life. And what happens is it becomes so competitive that people are trying, they want to deploy their money. They're trying to get it out there. That's why you're seeing interest rates lower, fees get lower, all this different stuff, because money sitting on the sidelines doing nothing. It actually is losing in this market with the inflation. So, okay, I wanted to talk about that. And I wanted to reiterate the fact, because a lot of people, I think, yeah, you're saying that, but you're not going to actually work with us. It's 100%. We will work with you. We love working with people. This deal here that I'm standing on came from a student, right? So anytime that we like to find, like educate people on what it is that we look for, and they can participate in the deal with us, we'll buy them out of the deal, right? So there's just different ways to do it. Sometimes people need the money. Sometimes they're like, hey, I want to keep my money in as equity. So, it's the same thing. Like, if we could help you guys learn what to look for, we're hoping that you guys go, okay, hey, I found one of those deals that you guys were looking for. I found the criteria. Here it is. What's the next step? Perfect. Glad you asked. This is a deal, or it's not a deal, and here's why, and let's do it or not do it. Right. So anyways.
Yeah. And I'll tell you guys, the deals are real. I'm not selfish anymore. Look, my biggest thing is this. I need ease in my life. And when I look at people like John, who've been around the game as long as I have, and I sit back and, like, my Seattle project is a perfect example. That was a student, Ramez, I met through an educational program that we put together over at Ty's house years back. He followed my content and he started sending me his deals. And I started looking at them and I was going, wow, that's a really good looking project. And then I asked him and started penciling and going, hey, how much are you making on this deal? And now Raymond and I are partners. We have a $25 million project going up in Kirtland, Washington. We just signed a letter of intent on a $4 million piece of land. We're going to build out a $35 million apartment complex on. I'm going to go through all that. It's a housing model, and Raymond owns 50% of the deal. Like, I sit back and I go, what's going to make this easy for me? Like, if I partner with this guy, I make him do a ton of the work and I give him 20% because I'm Jerome Maldonado. Like, what does that do for me? My whole thing is give the guy an opportunity to go out there. And if we profit on that thing, we make $10 million on it, give the guy $5 million. I make my $5 million. And guess what I get to do in return? I get to spend more time with my family. I know, John, I know you have grandkids, you have kids that are grown. And that time, like, to me, I don't know about you, but that time to me is worth giving that 50% up because one, it brings ease to my life. And I'm still getting wealthier doing it. And so for those of you guys that want to learn, like, how these guys became partners, you guys, they're going to be there. Raymond is going to be talking there. Kyle Mitchell is going to be talking there. Dave Carbajal, who's just freshly out of his job, that was making $300,000 a year in his job. I partnered with him at Palm Springs. We have about a $3 million deal going, and we're working on land to put a bigger project together. He's going to be there. And, I got John that is doing the same thing I'm doing. He's going to teach you how and why we're doing this stuff. And it's going to be cool. You guys, there's going to be a ton of benefits. It's no sales event. We're not going to sell you guys on anything. John's not bringing you guys sales stuff to sell you guys. I told all
about t-shirts. What about some they're going to ask for t-shirts.
Dude, you can bring those cool t-shirts. You can bring those cool t-shirts. If you guys see me with those t-shirts on, I got 3 of them and I'm going to poach some more from him. I don't have that one. I'm going to poach a couple more for Kyle. Goes into his office real respectful. He's like, oh, I know. I don't want to take your stuff. I'm like, give me that stuff. I'm pulling that stuff off the shelf. I'm like, I want to promo that.
I don't mind at all. I don't mind at all.
So anyways, it's going to be a good event. John, bro, I'm excited to have you. I'm glad we are, I'm glad we kind of crossed paths several months back. And I think we're going to land up doing some deals together in the near future. And so it's going to be neat. As much as it's a networking event, for the students, the people, the attendees. It's also a networking event for all of us. We're going to be able to have a few lunches together, a few dinners together. We get to spend some time around Cody Sperber, the clever investor. You made mention, you're the guys who are in the same city. You guys compete on deals against each other, and you've never met each other in person, even though you guys have had dealings across each other's paths. And so all of us get to sit across the table from each other over the weekend. And even the networking opportunities for us is great, So it's going to be a great opportunity. I love these events, the momentum that comes out of these, the business and relationships, the deals that come out of these, priceless.
There is, you said something. When we're done with this call, I think I actually have a deal we could partner on. I'll explain it to you. We could take it offline. I'm actually excited to talk to you about it. It's a good opportunity.
Cool. Yeah. Right. Yeah, we will do some stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, Real Estate Domination 2021. If you guys have had the blessed opportunity to be a part of 2019 and 2020, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I'm not sitting here telling you guys, hey, I'm going to teach you stuff. I'm not. The number one compliment that we get every time attendees leaves, they go, man, I learned so much, Jerome. And I always tell them, now you got to apply it. So you can come in and get all the information, but now you got to go home and apply it. But not only that, the networking, and every year it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We're not the biggest event in the platform, but I'll go up against and tell you guys that we're the best, more executed real estate event, most executed real estate event in the country. Like Todd Alt just hit billionaire status this year. He's buying all the inner circle and VIP members and all the speakers dinner on Saturday night. So you guys get to sit across from someone who's worth over $1.8 billion. He just picked up a couple hotels up in the Milwaukee market. So he's also in the real estate game. But he's going to talk to you guys about all that stuff, and just the networking opportunity is priceless. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
We get to hang out with Todd. Todd's a good friend of mine. It's going to be great. Cody will be there. You'll be there. I'll be there. My partners will be there. We got Bryce McKinley. He does a lot smaller wholesaling deals. He'll be there. We got Antoine Marshall will be there. Martel, he's gonna, he's doing multifamily. This kid's killing it. He's in his 20s. The Kwok brothers, those guys are killing it, man. These guys are still in their late 20s. Those guys are killing it. Everybody. It's going to be a badass event. I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait.
We're going to put the link down below. Click for more information. If you guys aren't able to get off your couch and join us live and in person and don't want to take advantage of the networking opportunities, well, I'm giving it to you guys free. You guys can stream it free. We got over 1,000 people registered to stream the event for free right now. But we have several hundreds that are going to be there live and in person. And you guys get to come out and network with us. So I don't know about you, but when John and I in the early 90s, we were going to trainings. Remember the basic building blocks to success, the BBB?
Yeah.
$300 in the early 90s. And I don't know.
Man, that was all the money in the world back then too.
Dude, I have a stack of those books. I still got a stack of those bad boys. And $300 back then was a lot of money. And I remember going to Journey Beyond Perception, spending $2,500 for that thing back then, $1,000 for Millionaire Workshop in the 90s. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the 1990s. That's how we got here. And now I'm charging the same dollar amount almost 30 years later, giving it to you guys. So I'm going to call it out the way it is. You're an idiot if you don't go. You got to sign up.
Yeah. Here's the thing, like watching it on the, in the comfort of your own home is one thing, but like you said, the magic is all, to me, what it says, guys, and I understand there's some one-off circumstances where people just can't make it, but for the people that say they can't, but really can, I mean, just question yourself, because this is no different than if an opportunity came up. And the way I see it is like, hey, John, you could have stopped everything you're doing today, come up and look at this opportunity, or just kept going and stayed comfortable in the office or whatever. No, I move stuff around. You have to sacrifice, you guys. And sometimes that sacrifice is just getting out of your comfort zone. That's no different than going, I'm going to make this phone call on this property. If you're not willing to come to the event, are you willing to make the phone calls when it's hard? Are you willing to go visit that property? Are you willing to ask people for money? Are you willing to ask people for the deal? To me, it's the same thing. So take that, like we're trying to give you right now, that professional push in the right direction to come meet with us, man. Yeah.
Looking forward to it. John, I know you're busy. I know you're trying to do some business up in Sedona. I'm not going to take the rest of your day. It looks like you got some storm coming in there. So I'm going to let you finish up your day. But ladies and gentlemen, John Trotman, live and in person, November 5th, 6th, and 7th from the MGM Grand Garden and Casino, Las Vegas, Nevada. I don't know where you guys are going to be, but ladies and gentlemen, I know where John and I are going to be. And I'm looking forward to it. And I'll see you guys all there. Ladies and gentlemen, go out, make it a great day. Keep crushing it. God bless. And we'll see you in Las Vegas, Nevada.
All right, take care. Thank you. See you guys there.